Hello, this is Stephen Allen. Yes, we are back with another Batman 66 episode review. Today, we'll be reviewing the episode Marsha's Scheme of Diamonds, the part 2 to Marsha, Queen of Diamonds. So without further ado, let's get into the review. In the previous episode, Batman is about to be, or should I say forced, to say I do to Marsha, Queen of Diamonds, in order to save Chief O'Hara, Commissioner Gordon, and Robin from being under her power, and thus Marsha will be able to go into the Batcave and steal the Bat Diamond. But just as this is about to happen, Aunt Harriet and Alfred, posing as Mrs. Batman and a lawyer, storm into the altar, and thus saying that because Batman is already married, he cannot marry Marsha, and they show an actual certificate, which is fake, of course. The minister who is conducting the wedding refuses to complete the ceremony, seeing that Batman is already married. And as a result, Marsha, under scrutiny and possible lawsuit, quickly leaves the ceremony. And though Batman is wondering what the hell's going on, Alfred and Aunt Harriet reveal everything. Now, I like how it's Alfred and Aunt Harriet who get Batman out of the situation. It's all fun and very entertainable. Realizing, of course, what they need to do, Batman asks Aunt Harriet to borrow Alfred, to not blow his cover. And essentially, Alfred joins Batman in the newlywed Batmobile to quickly race to Marsha's hideout. We then cut to a furious Marsha who is back at her lair, where she's about to give another potion to Robin. However, the alarms go off, indicating Batman has arrived. However, since the rest of the goons aren't here, Marsha and her top goon escape before Batman and Robin enter the room that everyone's being held in. And Alfred has brought along some bat antidotes, which Batman gives to Robin, Commissioner Gordon, Chief O'Hara, and the rest of Marsha's captives. We then see Marsha in Aunt Hilda's basement, where it turns out that she reveals the failure of Aunt Hilda's latest potion. However, Aunt Hilda said that she knew it was in poor quality. However, despite that, they work together to work up on a new potion to turn Batman and Robin into other creatures. Robin wakes up in the Batcave, telling about Batman all their troubles with Marsha was all about the Bat Diamond. However, he does point out the Bat Diamond is too large and heavy for Marsha to steal it from the Batcave, and also very noticeable, and wondering why she would have it. Well, like Batman says, there's some things you just can't buy, and she is just a mad collector, and simply wants to add this to her collection. It's when they're trying to then use the Bat Diamond to find Marsha, they get a call from Commissioner Gordon, who gives them a possible location on where Marsha is, but also to warn them that she will no doubt be ready for them. They then quickly get in the Batmobile and drive off. I get the scene with Alfred, Commissioner Gordon, and Chief O'Hara in police headquarters, which is all fun, very enjoyable. I loved every moment of it. It's really great. And I'm not going to reveal anymore because you just have to see it for yourself. Batman and Robin arrive at Marsha's headquarters, and and Hilda throws a potion which fails to turn them into mice. This then results in Marsha ordering her men to fight Batman and Robin. During the fight, Aunt Hilda comes up with a bunch of potions which turn out to be failures. And just as the goons are about to be essentially knocked out one by one, Marsha throws down some essentially knockout gas, and then Hilda comes out and throws some potion on Batman and Robin, which is sent to turn them into wriggling old toads. We then cut to Commissioner Gordon and Chief O'Hara at police headquarters, where it's revealed that if they don't help Marsha find the Batcave and the Bat Diamond, Batman and Robin will become toad dinner. And it's revealed that Marsha has actually turned Batman and Robin into actual toads, and threatens to feed them to a cat who wants to eat them. Now, realizing this, they agreed to go along with it. However, it's revealed that Batman and Robin were never toads and reappear, shocking Marsha and Gordon. The toads were actually replacements after the Batcomputer located the cage dynamic duo, first unlocking them before Batman and Robin used two frogs with miniature cape to put in the cave. before Marsha would be back to pick them up, thinking the potion worked on Batman and Robin. So it turns out that so essentially, if you're confused, what happened was the potion didn't work, but Marsha thought it did. And however, Batman and Robin using ventriloquism to voice the Toads so that they would, force them into the trap. And after subduing the last goon, Marsha is placed under arrest by Gordon and essentially taken to prison. The final scene shows Aunt Hilda teaching at a culinary class to students at the Wayne Institute of Economics, while Bruce and Dick look on. And just as they leave, they make a couple of frog jokes when Dick, complaining of a wart on his thumb, however says, "Well, I'll believe you, but would anyone else?" We'll end the episode with saying that next week's villain will be Shane, played by Cliff Robertson. Everyone's role here is pretty well. I like how everyone has a bit of a role in the story and very funny moments. Chief O'Hara and Commissioner Gordon are pretty much okay here, and are really quite enjoyable, to be quite honest. Alfred and Harriet, how they got Batman out, I like how that is particularly interesting in the story and really helps progress it and gets Batman out of the situation. The scene with Batman and Robin essentially in the Batcave discussing about essentially the events that they're in is all really entertaining and really enjoyable. I always found it interesting that we get to see Batman and Robin, Commissioner Gordon, Chief O'Hara, and Alfred and Harriet, but we don't get to see Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson until literally the end of the episode, something I found to be really different and really a different standout. Now, of course, let's talk about the main villain. Caroline Jones's performance as Marsha, I admit, does pick up a bit for me in the second part. She is letting herself a bit loose a bit to be more fun and energetic, and the diamond angle is still in her character. And I like these moments where she's like how she's humiliated at the altar, and the conversation she has with Aunt Hilda and her head henchman, all very fun and entertainable and even funny. Her last line about when she's told that you should know that diamonds aren't a girl's best friend, and she goes up to Batman and says, "Darling, you're divinely squared." I admit, she delivered that line so poetically. I'm not sure why I like her in the second part compared to the first one, but my standings of her character being still rather bland, despite her interesting motivation. I don't know. Maybe it's because I just never found her to be that threatening, even though she has the ability to put men under her spell, which really should be as a threatening. I just don't buy it, or don't fully embrace it, I guess. Anyway, she is a little bit better in this second part, and who knows, in her team-up episode, who knows where that will go. Aunt Hilda is arguably, for me, when compared to Marsha, in my opinion, the better character when compared to her. I don't know, I just found her more entertaining, more silly, more enjoyable, and honestly more of an actual threat, because she can create these potions. Granted, they don't always work, but but for me, that's always the fun bit. You don't know if these potions are going to work, or how they will, how essentially things will turn out. And that's why I've always liked Aunt Hilda's character over Marsha. And the actress who plays her does a really phenomenal job, and thank God when Marsha does return to the three-parter with Penguin later in the season, she comes too, which makes sense, because let's be honest, she's really the main thing that is truly Marsha's main muscle, and honestly, she's, in my opinion, the better bit of these episodes. Marsha's scheme of diamonds, yes, that's the title of this episode, has a lot in common with its previous brother. It's a rather bland and okay episode, but I will admit, something about it still was pretty fun, especially since in this episode, a lot of the supporting cast get to play more of a role in the story and get something more to do than do the traditional, exposition dump, or even just there for a fun little moment. I love how Alfred and Harriet help Batman out of the situation, which I absolutely adore. How Aunt Harriet gets more overall screen time within the story. Other than that, and the ending is pretty bland and okay, but I don't know, these episodes are okay, but not fantastical. And interesting, Marsha would come back. I guess she must have made such an impression on the producers, they decided to bring her back. And there we have it, Marsha's scheme of diamonds. Just like its other one, it's kind of okay and just generic, but who knows. But this is not the last time we'll see Marsha. She will return later in the season, teaming up with Penguin, but that's still a long way away. So join us next time where Batman goes up against a Western-themed villain, Shame. And these are one of my few favorite episodes of this season, so stick around for that. So until next time, tune into the same Steven Hour, the same Steven channel, and ladies and gentlemen, so long for now.